In this lecture, we will talk about what is change data capture. Change data capture is also known as CDC in Salesforce world. Like we talked about platform events, push topic. Similar way, change data capture is also used as streaming the data or transfer the data from one system to another system, or we can also say from Salesforce to external system in the near real time. The key thing is that change data capture only captures the changes related to your Salesforce records, right? Like you have Salesforce objects, accounts, contacts, or any custom object, and you are making any changes to any particular object, and the change data capture is enabled for that object. So, what will happen? It will send the data to the external source. If external source is having any kind of listener which is listening the changes into the change data capture. Change data capture also uses event driven architecture that we have already discussed. And as we discussed, CDC is only for record level changes. There is nothing, we cannot have our own changes over there. We cannot prepare our own record. We cannot prepare our own body. CDC respect the field level security of your Salesforce object. What does that mean is, if the user who is trying to make the changes at a record level doesn't have access to any field, then that particular field will not be transmitted using change data capture. This is what it does mean. Now let's talk about with the example over here. Suppose that you have a data which you are trying to transfer, which is an object called user, and this is kind of ID where you have, if user is going to the user object and making the changes, what will happen? This is our Salesforce environment. With the help of our event bus, which is going to transmit the data with the help of our change event, which is CDC, and there is a subscriber which might be our Lightning Aura component, our Lightning Web component, or any external system like we have subscribed using Node.js. There is a subscriber which is sitting between external database and your change event, and that data is there in the external database. Now, once you have that data here at with subscriber, that subscriber or the code or the logic that you have put there, it is going to send the data to the external system, and you might want it to update sort of existing data, or you wanted to create new data. Now this is how you can enable change data capture. That means before using change data capture, you must need to enable change data for your standard and custom objects. There are some limitations while using standard objects inside change data capture, but change data capture is available for all the custom objects that you create inside your Salesforce org. How you can enable change data capture is, first thing that you need to do is get inside your Salesforce org, then navigate to setup, and from setup you can just quickly type change data capture, and then you can enable your object from here to here by selecting and clicking on this arrow button. Now let's quickly see how we can enable it. We are inside our Salesforce org. In the quick search box, type change data, and under integrations you will see change data capture, and just click on that change data capture. And after clicking on this change data capture, this is the interface that we have seen. Now suppose that you wanted to enable change data capture for your object called case. You can select this and then click on this arrow. You can see that your object is here now. What you need to do is just go ahead and click on save. As soon as you will click on save, the change data capture for these selected objects will be enabled, and if you make any changes in any one of those objects, your change data capture will execute it. The only key is that change data capture will not be subscribed until unless you have subscribed that change data capture. As you can see that we have got those three objects. If we go ahead and make any changes on, like we have opportunities selected as well. If you go to opportunities, if any of the operation, if we perform either create, edit, delete, or if we even update that record, that CDC will execute. That means our change data capture event is going to be published. All we need to do is we need to subscribe that, and then we need to see how and what all details we are getting over there. So we'll see in the action into the next lecture. Until then, I'll meet you into the next lecture. Thank you.